Anderson. The National League coaches from the Los Angeles Dodgers, their manager, Tom Lasorda. From the Philadelphia Phillies, their manager, Danny Ozark. Batting first and playing second base from the Cincinnati Reds, Joe Morgan. Batting second and playing first base from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Steve Garvey. Batting third and playing right field from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Dave Parker. Batting fourth and playing center field from the Cincinnati Reds, George Foster. Batting fifth and playing left field from the Philadelphia Phillies, Greg Luzinski. Batting sixth and playing third base from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Ron Cey. Batting seventh and catching from the Cincinnati Reds, Johnny Bench. Batting eighth and playing shortstop from the Cincinnati Reds, Dave Concepcion. Batting ninth and pitching, warming up now in the bullpen from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Don Sutton. And now, here are the remaining National League All-Stars. From the Atlanta Braves, first baseman Willie Montanez. From the Chicago Cubs, outfielder Jerry Morales. Pitcher Rick Russell. Second baseman Manny Trio. From the Cincinnati Reds, outfielder Ken Griffey. Third baseman Pete Rose. Pitcher Tom Seaver. From the Houston Astros, pitcher Joaquin Andujar. From the Los Angeles Dodgers, outfielder Reggie Smith. From the Montreal Expos, outfielder Ellis Valentine. From the New York Mets, catcher John Stern. From the Philadelphia Phillies, pitcher Steve Carlton. Third baseman Mike Smith. From the Pittsburgh Pirates, pitchers John Candelaria, Rich Gossett. From the St. Louis Cardinals, catcher Ted Simmons, shortstop Gary Templeton. From the San Diego Padres, outfielder Dave Winfield. From the San Francisco Giants, pitcher Gary Lavelle. And the trainer from the Houston Astros, Jim Ewell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's greet the American League All-Stars. The manager from the American League champion New York Yankees, Billy Martin. The American League coaches from the Chicago White Sox, their manager, Bob Lemon. From the Milwaukee Brewers, their manager, Alex Grammas. Batting first and playing first base from the Minnesota Twins, Rod Carew. Batting second and playing second base from the New York Yankees, Willie Randolph. Batting third and playing third base from the KC Royals, George Brett. Batting fourth and playing center field from the Boston Red Sox, Carl Yastrzemski. Batting fifth and playing left field from the Chicago White Sox, Richie Zisk. Batting sixth and playing right field from the New York Yankees, Reggie Jackson. Batting seventh and catching from the Boston Red Sox, Carlton Fisk. Batting eighth and playing shortstop from the Boston Red Sox, Rick Burleson. Batting ninth and pitching, now warming up in the bullpen from the Baltimore Orioles, Jim Palmer. And now, here are the remaining American League All-Stars. From the Baltimore Orioles, outfielder Ken Singleton. From the Boston Red Sox, pitcher Bill Campbell. Outfielders Fred Lynn and Jim Rice. First baseman George Scott. From the California Angels, pitcher Dave LaRoche. From the Cleveland Indians, pitchers Dennis Eckersley and Jim Kern. From the Detroit Tigers, first baseman Jason Thompson. From the Milwaukee Brewers, pitcher Jim Slayton. From the Minnesota Twins, outfielder Larry Heisel and catcher Butch Weiniger. From the New York Yankees, pitcher Sparky Lyle. Catcher Thurman Munson. Third baseman Greg Nettles. From the Oakland A's, third baseman Wayne Gross. From the Seattle Mariners, outfielder Rupert Jones. From the Texas Rangers, shortstop Bert Campaneris. From the Toronto Blue Jays, outfielder first baseman Ron Fairley. And the trainers from the New York Yankees, Gene Monahan. From the Texas Rangers, Bill Ziegler. Ladies and gentlemen, as a special treat for all of us, we'll meet the honorary captains for tonight's All-Star Game. Representing the National League, the third leading home run hitter of all time. He's appeared in 24 All-Star games as a player with the Giants and the Mets. The Say Hey Kid, number 24, Willie Mays. And representing the American League, he hit a home run in the first All-Star game at Yankee Stadium in 1939. An 11-time All-Star performer with the Yankees, a member of baseball's Hall of Fame, the Yankee Clipper, number 5, Joe DiMaggio. Contributed significantly to social and political growth in this great country. We ask now that you direct your attention to the commissioner's box, Joe DiMaggio, home run champion Henry Aaron, former Dodgers Joe Black, Roy Campanella, and Pee Wee Reese, and honorary captain Willie Mays.
Of the American League. Every year, Tony, one of those stories pops up as we look at Jim Palmer, who must have warmed up for a day and a half out in that bullpen.
He said he came into today's ball game that he's a little bit tired, too. And, well, Carlton Fisk, the man behind home plate, we asked Fisk if there are any special problems catching a pitcher he's never caught before. He's battled, of course, him against. Let's hear from Fisk.
In case of our starter, Jim Palmer, who's one of the best pitchers in the American League, I look for him to be probably as effective against the National League as he is against the American League, and probably I'll go with the way he wants to throw a ball game. I'll let him dictate the way he wants to try to get hitters out and maybe just call his own game. We'll go over a little bit before the game starts, but he'll throw his own game out there.
Now, Jim Palmer, no stranger to All-Star competition. This is his 4th All-Star game and his 3rd start. He is yet to be scored upon.
You could pretty well say that about both pitchers. 8 innings pitched, Sutton 5 innings pitched, 3 games each, unscored on. The temperature right around game time, 93 degrees. Today in New York, it got as high as 102, which is a record for this date. It's been hot, it's been muggy here. A tremendous crowd on hand. This is the first game played in the All-Star game, played in the refurbished Yankee Stadium, as we get a beautiful shot from our Goodyear blimp, Mayflower, flying high over the Big Apple tonight. Ernie DeRosa is our cameraman. Walt Werner, our video and sign lighter.
Peru's hurt. No telling how long he's going to play.
Joe Morgan will lead it off for the National League. And I'll tell you, one of the sights tonight would be if a ball is hit in between any of the outfielders, with Zisk not really a gazelle in left field, Yastrzemski limping in center field, and Jackson not exactly a Gold Glove winner. That ball may be hit in between them. He'll run for a week and a half, may have to catch a cab to catch up with the ball. At any rate, Joe Morgan leads it off. Morgan is hitting .310 on the season with 12 home runs and 47 runs batted in. All-Star game is underway with a high fastball, and it's ball one.
Ain't got any fighter.
Inside. Carlton Fisk said that Palmer will call his own game. All Fisk has to do is remember what finger he put down. High, and it's ball three.
He's thrown pretty hard. He was telling us before the ball game his arm's been tired. He has the amazing total of 188 innings pitched up till this point. It's just past the halfway mark of the season. He said, my arm's been dragging. Doesn't look like it right now.
There's a strike. He's copping that big mid of Carlton Fisk. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball game just underway. Out of play. Well, if you think that this game is going to be dripping with strategy, watch the way Fisk flashes his signs. Just like on the playground, guys. 1's a fastball, 2's a curve. Uh-oh, that's deep. Way back there. Jackson near the wall. 1-0.
Fastball. Gave the National League a quickie. Palmer has given up Joe a lot of home runs this year. Unusual for him. He's given up 20 so far this season.
Well, the National League bench really going to him. Watch Reggie Jackson.
Ball hit very high. Morgan ordinarily doesn't hit such towering home runs. They're more line drives. He got a lot of loft. Named short porch in Yankee Stadium.
Did you see Reggie Jackson see that ball lean against that wall like he wanted to go to sleep? Strike one.
He's as if to say, here we go again, with the way they've been faring in All-Star play.
Steve Garvey hitting at .293 on the season with 22 home runs and 80 RBIs. I'll tip he had a good cut. Joe Morgan with that home run ties Frankie Frisch, Lou Boudreau, and Willie Mays. And most times home runs as a leadoff batter to start a game. Last time that was done was 1965. 1-0. National League leads. Out on strike. Garvey doesn't believe it. So there's 1 out, and we'll pause briefly for our station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KSTP-TV, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Channel 5.
Jim Palmer has given up a home run to Joe Morgan. He struck out Steve Garvey, and here is Dave Parker, who in batting practice and infield practice had that bright yellow Pittsburgh uniform on. And he looked like a 230-pound canary running around out there. But he can hit. Out of play.
He can do a lot of things. He can run, he can throw, he can hit. He'll steal a base for you at times. The National League starting lineup is loaded with power. 142 home runs in the starting lineup for the National League. The American League just 85. American League's got him in batting average, however.
Curveball bounces, 1 ball and 1 strike. Look at all those leaders, and they're all here. Those 5 guys have really been seesawing back and forth for the league lead. Whoa, outside, slow curveball. That takes a lot of courage to be 60 feet 6 inches from this building and throw him a slow curve. Base hit, left field. Parker is on.
Joe, before the ball game started, we showed the lack of experience the double play comics. They have a lot of experience in the National League in the starting team. Parker's the only National Leaguer really who has not started in an all-star game. Never been in one.
Well, he's off to a good start with that base hit, and it brings up George Foster. Foster hitting .316, 29 home runs, 90 runs batted in. He could go home right now and get himself a $100,000 raise. Both leading the league. 29 home runs and the 90 RBIs. In fact, it's leading the major leagues. Outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0. Joe Morgan has opened his ball game with a home run into the right field seats. Parker can run. But I tell you, they got Foster, Luzinski, Save, Bench, and Concepcion. Then they might think about putting a play on, because you got those guys who can tear out seats for you in the bleachers. Base hit, left center field, no doubt about it. Parker's heading for third. He'll make it easily, loses both his caps, and they're going to try to score him. Here he comes. Safe.
Well, the American League was worried about their defense with Yastrzemski with a bad leg. Let's watch Parker again as he turns the corner at third. That's Brett yelling as Lasorda waves him home. Burleson's relay for a good try by Fisk on the one-handed tag. Just not in time. Richie Zisk in left field playing with a bad leg. Yastrzemski with a very bad ankle comes up with it. Here's the relay. Boy, this was a close play. Burleson almost got him on the relay throw, but he just misses the tag by sliding away. He made it for the National League.
I think they lost the play, Tony, on Yastrzemski's relay. He didn't have a whole lot on it. Kind of an infield fly he threw to Burleson. Yastrzemski with that bad foot had to hurt him, and it's a 2-0 lead. Luzinski takes it high. Ball 1. This National League, they're starting out early. They got some gunners. They've got some wreckers. Bounces away from Fisk, and heading for third is Foster. It's a wild pitch. This telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball. Is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited.
Billy Martin not taking any chances. He has very hurriedly gotten somebody warmed up from the Cleveland Indians, Jim Kern.
Two balls, no strikes on Greg Luzinski, and he is a real good cripple shooter. What a cut he had, but that was a good pitch on the outside part of the plate.
Billy Martin's got his infield in, which is dangerous with a guy like this up there.
Boy, I tell you, those married men don't like to play in with Luzinski hitting. Fouls it back out of play. He's really been on a tear. Last week, he had 15 RBIs in 6 games. He had a ball on a trademark in Philadelphia and hit the upper part of the facade in left field. Foster's at third. He doubled to drive in a run. He's on third on a wild pitch. And Tom Lasorda, Dodger manager, give him credit. He had the green light up all the way for Dave Parker. Big strides that he took. Curveball stays inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes as we look at our shot with a handheld camera. Gives you a pretty good idea of the defense on the left side for Greg Luzinski on a full count. And that's the way it looks from above. Foul out of play.
Everything's upstairs that Jimmy's throwing. Breaking ball's been up high, shoulder high. Fastball's been up high. When his arm's a little tired, he likes to sink that fastball. He can get the ground balls, but he hasn't done it so far tonight. He was born in New York.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Foul back again. With the pregame ceremonies and all, Jim Palmer must feel like he's been warming up since 6:30, and now Luzinski is fouling off all these pitches. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-0. National League leading. A leadoff home run by Morgan, a single by Parker, and a double by Foster. Parker scored all the way from first. One-on-one.
Jim Palmer has never been a big strikeout pitcher, but he's always been able to get the strikeout when he needs it. These are the kind of situations when he gets a little extra on his fastball. He just hasn't been able to do it tonight. He says the DH cause a lot of wear and tear on pitchers' arms. Pitching those tough innings, late in ball games, not being taken out.
Deep to right field. Reggie Jackson's going back near the wall at bye-bye. Home run.
Why they call him the bull? He just kept fighting pitchers off, fighting him out. Let's see where that ball was. It looked like it might have been an in on him. He just hung with it. He was so strong, he just muscles the ball out of the ballpark. In that short right field, he's making it look like a little bandbox. Here's Jackson once again. It's like a replay. The Joe Morgan leadoff home run.
He's hitting that canvas like a preliminary fighter. He keeps going up against it. Here's Ron Say. I tell you, you could hit a singles in his national lineup and you'd be stopping a rally. There's the strike. Here is Ron Say with 18 home runs, 76 runs batted in. And following him is Johnny Bench, who has 20 home runs and 68 runs batted in. Fouled out of play. Billy Martin. Next to him, Alex Grammas. Not much Billy could do. Two strikes to count. Ron Say out on strikes. So it's been strikeout or no count. And there is Sparky Anderson as he says, "Hey, Steve, take a look at the camera so the folks can see you." Steve Garvey.
The old rally stop when he struck out.
He's the guy who did it.
I think they were kidding him about that.
Johnny Bench, those 2 home runs tied a club record. It's the first time a team has hit 2 home runs in an inning in an All-Star game. 10th time.
Palmer says, "I'll try something different." A big, slow curveball to Bench.
1 strike. Another one. Johnny Bench way out in front of it. You see Bench grinning from way up here. Out on strike, so Palmer struck out the side, but a big inning. National League with 2 home runs, 4 American League coming to bat. Hey, Tony.
Well, Johnny Bench, his catcher. We asked Johnny Bench the same question we asked Fisk. Anything different about catching somebody you haven't caught during the regular season? Here's Johnny Bench on Sutton.
Having faced Don, I basically know what he's going to throw. I still would like to go down in the bullpen before the game, but it's a little too far from the dugout here in the Yankee Stadium in order to go down there and loosen up. I'm just going to ask him about his breaking balls, if he's going to do anything special or throw one harder or one bigger, and basically let just my experience win out over the rest of it.
Johnny Bench talking about Don Sutton, who made a little bit of news at the luncheon the other day when they were talking about Sparky Anderson. It's a tongue-in-cheek job, but I think he got the message across. They asked Sparky Anderson about Sutton starting. He said, well, in 9.5 games out in front, he deserves it. Why not pitch Seaver? And Sparky starting into an answer, and Sutton said he wants Seaver fresh for Thursday. Who's he kidding? And, of course, Sparky laughed, but there might have been a grain of truth in that. But at any rate, Sutton fires a strike on Rod Carew, and it's almost a cliche, but this is baseball's purest hitter right here. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Say, the third baseman, up in on the grass for Carew, who can just fly and is about as good a bunter as you could have. He can lay the ball wherever he wants to.
Right back to Sutton. Easy out. 1 out. Brings up Willie Randolph, who should get a big hand from this partisan crowd here. Although I guess those 4 runs that the National League has put on that scoreboard has taken a lot of the wind out of the sails for these American League fans. 4 quickies. Willie Randolph. High, ball 1. Randolph hitting .307 at the break with 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in.
This is Don Sutton's 4th game, but his first start in All-Star competition. He's been unscored upon.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled out of play. Every time Don Sutton pitches, they accuse him of cutting the baseball. In fact, Sparky Anderson, last time in Cincinnati, was going through a whole big thing by looking at the balls, and he said somebody's cutting them. But I tend to doubt that he'll do it tonight, if he does it at all.
Yesterday during the workout, Sutton went over and got a new American League ball and scuffed it up right over Lee McPhail's signature and sent it to Sparky. He said, Sparky, boy, that was a good fastball.
Struck him out. 2 outs.
He said, Sparky, look at this. It works on American League balls, too. Get me a load of sandpaper.
2 outs. George Brett. Brett was hitting .281, 4 home runs, 34 runs batted in. The Kansas City Royals. Takes inside. He hit the big home run in the playoffs. It looked like it was going to do it for Kansas City, and these Yankee fans here tonight remembered it, and they booed him, but I think more out of respect than anything else. That was low.
Whereas the National League sent up a load of power hitters in that first inning, we've got a bunch of singles hitters, spray hitters, all good hitters, obviously, but they all spray the ball around, don't hit for power. Take them a little while to build up 4 runs on the scoreboard with them coming up there.
3 balls and no strikes. Ball 4. George Brett draws the base on balls, and it brings up Carl Yastrzemski. He should get a great hand. He's playing with a bad leg, bad foot.
You got to show a lot of respect for Yaz, because right up until game time, Billy Martin was trying to talk him out of play. He said, listen, you can't run. You may hurt yourself. I'm getting at least 1 at bat in. I want to play.
Lines it foul down the right field line. I think of everything I've heard and read, Yastrzemski said it best, because he simply says, for one day, different guys from different teams get to pull together as a team. And that's kind of nice. 1970 was the year he remembers. He got 4 hits off people like Seaver, Gaylord Perry, and Bob Gibson. The curveball hung outside.
Keeps making quotes like that, he's going to become my favorite Polish philosopher.
Listen, when his name ended in I, he was your famous Polish philosopher. Way outside. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs. George Brett's at first. National League is leading 4-0. We're in the bottom of the first. And there you see Richie Zisk of the White Sox with their new uniforms. The loose look. Outside, 3-1. Yastrzemski takes a look at third base coach Alex Grammas, but you know he's hitting. Alex, Milwaukee manager. Bob Lemon, White Sox manager, coaches at first. Popped up. Joe Morgan. And Garvey. Now Morgan taking charge. That was way up there. Major League pop fly. That ends the inning, so the score at the end of one complete inning, 4-0 National League. New York live from our Goodyear blimp. Over the horrors of the blackout. And maybe for a couple hours, baseball doing what it should do, take your mind off your problems. Although Jim Palmer in that first inning had some problems as the National League really jumped on him for 4 quick runs, although he ended up striking out the side. Dave Concepcion leads it off, followed by Don Sutton and Joe Morgan. Fisk puts down number 1, and there it is, a high fastball. See, with all that jazz that you hear about all these complicated signals, it's still a simple game.
The way these National League All-Stars have made it is, where they're swinging the bats.
Tony, of all the explanations, 1 ball, 1 strike, Willie Mays said it best. When they throw the ball, I hit it, and when they hit it, I catch it. And that, my friends, is baseball.
If you're Willie Mays.
You got a point. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Dave Concepcion has always been rated as a good hitter, a good RBI man, a good stealer, but they tell us this year, everybody in the National League said they've never seen a guy play shortstop like he has. He's been just outstanding. Morgan was raving about him before the ball game, and he said, I've never seen anything like it. He catches everything inside an artificial surface or dirt.
He's up there with a count of 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball 4. There's Willie Mays, and behind him, Joe Nuxhall. Still the youngest pitcher ever to pitch in the big leagues, now a Cincinnati Broadcast. He was the batting practice pitcher. Joe Morgan gets ready to be the on-deck batter, and Don Sutton with Concepcion at first base may get a chance to bunt him over and head back to the dugout.
Don swings the bat pretty well. Brett creeping in at third. Concepcion has great speed, a great base stealer. Stolen 21.
Carew makes the play on Sutton. The sacrifice is executed perfectly, and Sutton now gets in out of the hot sun, so to speak.
Davey gets one of the biggest leads around. He gets a bigger lead than Joe Morgan or most others. Had that good base running instinct.
He was watching that ball all the way. Ball was bunted a bit in the air. He didn't want to get trapped. Morgan, who led off with a home run, is up there now. 320 home run, 55 stolen base seasons. What a player. Hit his bat. Morgan says one of his big thrills in baseball is to score a run without an official time at bat. Walk, steal second, move to third on a bouncing ball to the right side, and then a sacrifice fly. 1 ball, 1 strike. He can play, Tony.
You wonder where he generates the power. Everybody knows he's not that big. He thinks and hits a lot like Ted Williams. Stands up on the plate, challenges you to throw the fastball by him inside. Great command of the strike zone, walks a lot.
He doesn't have a big strike zone. As he bends over, he looks down. Strike zone's about the size of his belt buckle. There goes Concepcion. They got a shot to get him. They got him. No doubt about it. He had a bad jump. He was an easy out for a fine throw by Carlton Fisk.
Davey doesn't get thrown out too often. Stolen 21 this year, caught stealing 5. Alex Grammas was saying before the ball game, he has never seen Carlton Fisk throw better than he has this year. He's healthy. If you look at the play again.
Line drive right at Willie Randolph. Don Sutton will be facing Richie Zisk, Reggie Jackson, and Carlton Fisk. 10-4 for Don Sutton. Break.
Lassard on the dugout steps is directing traffic, trying to get the bull and left to move over. He finally does.
Did you strike on Zisk, who's having a tremendous year for those amazing Chicago White Sox. Boy, Bill Veeck has really done a job as we look at that National League bench. There is Tom Lasorda. Two strikes on Richie Zisk. Reggie Jackson is the on-deck battle. It'll be interesting to see the reaction he gets. In the pregame introductions, I thought there was a little bit of a story in the introductions. Two-strike pitch to Zisk. Did he go around? Ask him. Struck him out, says Doug Harvey. The first base umpire, he said he went around. One out, and it brings up Reggie Jackson. In contrast to that, Billy Martin was given a tremendous hand by these fans as if they were trying to deliver a message. Jackson has been playing under a tremendous amount of pressure. I'm sure you've read all the stories as he takes a strike on the outside corner. One ball, one strike.
Reggie's batting average has been going up gradually. He had that very slow start. He feels he's got the bat and everything going together now. He thinks he's going to have a great second half.
He's leading the American League in doubles with 29. I tell you, that whole Yankee clubhouse, 2 balls and 1 strike. There's enough turmoil in there that if Dale Carnegie walked in, 9 guys would smack him right in the mouth. Just scratching and clawing.
Trying to pitch Jackson outside. Bench keeps setting up out there. Trying to make him hit it to the big part of the ballpark. It's always been the strategy in Yankee Stadium. Pitch the left-handers away, make them hit the left center field, dead center field. Another shot from the top of the stands with that handheld camera.
3-1 pitch. It's a strike. Breaking ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 4-0, National League leading. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. Up the middle. That's going to get through. A base hit for Reggie Jackson.
They turn a few boos in the chairs, isn't it?
That's the way to do it. When you do it with the bat and the glove, it changes in a hurry. Jackson is on. It brings up Carlton Fisk. The boos you hear, I'm sure, is an outgrowth of the friendly rivalry between Carlton Fisk and Thurman Munson. They've had a battle ever since they've been in the league. Who is the better catcher? The Red Sox fan says no doubt about it, and the Yankee fan says no doubt about it.
Those of you who haven't seen Carlton Fisk this season, you might notice a real adjustment in his batting stance. Very close now.
Strike 1.
We've mentioned this on our Game of the Week. Fisk credits it to a guy named Walt Reniak, a name you haven't heard of, but he's on the coaching staff of the Red Sox. Uses a lot of the Charlie Lau theories of hitting. He's got Fisk staying, keeping that shoulder in. But he can still get around on the inside fastball.
Nice play by Johnny Bench as he digs a curveball out. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out.
5th time Fisk's been on an all-star team.
Tom Lasorda keeps moving the outfielders around on that Dodger bench. He's got a towel. Looked like a football referee that lost his game. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Is he having fun? Look at
Pete Rose wants a little bit of time.
I think they're putting Lazinski on a little bit. He's going to come in there and pinch their head off.
2-1 pitch. There's his strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. And there's the American League bench. You wouldn't have to know the score to know which team is leading. Yes, sir. National League 4, American League nothing. We're in the bottom of the second. Strike 3 is called. Fastball on the inside corner. 3rd strikeout for Don Sutton. 2 outs in this inning. He brings up Rick Burleson.
That shot of the American League bench was interesting because Billy Martin was talking to Jimmy Palmer. If Burleson gets out, he's a scheduled hitter. Some activity now in the bullpen. I got to believe that Palmer told him, listen, if we get men on, take me out. If we want to win the ball game, Put a pinch hitter up for me. Get some runs back in a hurry.
Rick Burleson hitting .298, 2 home runs and 28 runs batted in. High, ball 1. Burleson 5th in hits in the American League this year. Way away from that plate. Straight away center field. Foster's going back, and makes the grab. He misjudged it for a minute. Hauled it in. That ends the 2nd inning. So at the end of 2 complete innings, National League 4, American League nothing. Year blimp. That is some impressive shot. I tell you, when I fly out of New York, there's a night game going on, whether it's Shea or Yankee Stadium, just something about going over a ballpark for me, Tony.
A little diamond, doesn't it?
Yeah. The Goodyear blimp Mayflower flying atop as we see Steve Garvey. It'll be Garvey, Parker, and Foster. Garvey was out on strikes his first time up.
You know, Jim Palmer yesterday had a good long session with Ron Fairley. He's the Toronto Blue Jays representative of the All-Star team, and he talked over every National League hitter. Fairley, of course, came over from the National League. Fairley didn't give him too good advice so far.
Well, he may have given him good advice.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Plays like the fighter who blesses himself. It'll help him if he can fight.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a lot of information, but if you can't get that ball in the right spot, forget it. That's out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Steve Garvey. If there was ever a ball player that played this game with a good housekeeping seal stuck on him somewhere, it's this guy. Uses a golf grip, just that top hand, the bat is just barely in his fingers, and he throws the barrel of that bat at the ball. Good power. And there's a pretty good example. It is a foul ball.
You can't beat that combination up at the plate of quickness and strength. With the quickness, he can get around on that inside pitch. Watch this. Looks like he might have hung a breaking ball, a head down on the ball. Perfect example of a hitting clinic for you kids.
Those arms.
Oh.
Both hands on the ball, and you can see the muscles pop out like Popeye when he swings. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Palmer's curveball, he's bouncing it, hoping that Garvey would chase the bad ball. Jim Palmer. Deep to left center field. Disc is going way back. Forget about it. Home run for Garvey. 3rd home run of the game. That is the longest by far. Oh, that ball really was given a ride.
That is a tough part of the ballpark in Yankee Stadium. When you get to the center field side of that 387 sign, Billy Martin now out to talk to Palmer. There's Garvey. He's graded by Tom Seaver, Joe Nuxall. Garvey follows instructions well. Spring training this year, his manager, Tom Lasorda, said, I want you to hit more home runs. Well, he's at 22, more than he's ever hit his major league career before. 2nd All-Star game home run for Garvey. He hit one against Blue in 1975. They're chuckling, it looks like. Billy's got a smile on his face.
Well, they're going to break up the meeting or do something right now.
Jim Kern looks like the guy is coming in from the bullpen in left center field. He's with the Cleveland Indians. Well, there's a break in the action here in Yankee Stadium with a score. The National League 5, the American League nothing. Before the ball game today, what his plans were as far as managing this All-Star game. They may have changed since then, Billy, but let's hear what you had to say.
Well, as you know, I really want to win this game. I think the American League has lost it the last few years, and we'd certainly like to win it for a change. I'm going to go with Jim Palmer to start out with, and as far as the rest of the pitching, I'm just going to wait and see what Sparky does with the moves he makes and changes out there. I plan maybe even bringing the short relievers in early, and I'd like to play the regulars as long as possible, more than 3 innings. I think they've been chosen by the public, and the public wants to see them just a little longer than 3 innings.
Joey said he's going to wait to see what Sparky does. Sparky just sends some bombs up there. That's what he did.
I tell you, Sparky just made out the lineup card and let those gunners go, and he can go fishing. There's no defense against those balls that Morgan hit to open the game, a home run. And then Garvey was out on strikes. Parker singled. Foster drove him in from first. And then Luzinski hit a home run to right field. It was 4-0. And here in the third, Garvey has just hit a tremendous home run.
Al, Jim Kern of the Indians is on, and look at the strikeout ratio. And 57 2/3 inning pitch off to the All-Star break. He struck out 54. He's one of the young flamethrowers in the American League. He's a big guy, 6'5". See him in slow motion.
Who leaves with a negative statistic for a Cy Young winner, the first pitcher ever to allow 3 home runs in an All-Star game. Well, if you're going to get in the record book, get in the record book. Here is Dave Parker, who single left his first time up. .6'5", 230, big man.
He just threw it right by
everybody. Shades of Ryan Duran.
Carlton Fisk reached for the ball when it was 3 feet by him. Look at this. You talk about a good fastball. Go get it, Fudge. That's Fisk's nickname.
He never did get the glove up there. 1 ball, no strikes. Another fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's one of the fun parts of an All-Star game when you get the free swinging good fastball hitter, which Parker is, against a hard thrower like Kern, which he is. Match strength against strength.
2 balls and 1 strike. I tell you, Fisk has got a new glove he wants to break in. He ought to go get it. In about 2 innings, this kid will break it in for him.
He didn't get around that one either.
It's about a day and a half late on that one.
That's a tribute to his speed. That extra base hits, you see. Tied with George Foster. Hits all over. Hit him out in left as well as right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul ball. Didn't get around on it again. Just late.
Dave Parker, the guy you may have read about in the last couple of weeks, signed a multi-year contract for, we're assuming, big money. He said he's unhappy in Pittsburgh, and he said the reason? Money. I think I deserve more.
That's a new story. Haven't heard that in 10 minutes. Struck him out. Dave Parker is out on strike, so young Kern comes in and gets his first out, a strikeout. And next week, we'll have Texas at Baltimore as we see Bert Campaneris on the left and Ken Singleton on the right, both All-Stars. And then our other game, Pete Rose, Cincinnati, and Dave Parker, Pittsburgh. Begins with grandstand at 2 o'clock. Our game of the week, Texas versus Baltimore, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. So check your local listings. Parker takes a strike. Turns around and says, that ball sounded inside. You better take a good look. And if he points like that one more time, I think Mr. Kunkel will have something to say to him. Umpires don't like that at all. High. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kern doesn't expect to get anybody out with that pitch. He just wants to show it to you and then come back with a fastball.
National League 5, American League nothing. He just blew it by him. Forget it. He's not thinking, he's throwing, and he's got a great fastball. Boy, you'd hate to see a kid like this start to spot the ball, or some genius pitching coach make a 12-game winner out of him by saying, well, you ought to change speeds. Just blew it by him.
I like to watch the expression of the hitters as they go back and tell the hitter coming from the on-deck circle what he's throwing. You can tell him what, but how hard you can't tell him. You can say hard, but how hard is hard? He is smoking.
Well, he has kind of gotten that National League bench a little bit subdued there now as we look at it. Sutton and Garvey, and he must have said something that broke nuts all up because Kern out there with 2 strikeouts now faces Luzinski. Ball 1. You can hear the crowd react with his kid's fastball. Just listen after he throws this if it's his good fastball. You'll hear it hit the mitt.
Look out.
About 10 minutes late. George Scott says, hit it out there, the big part of the ballpark. And everybody that was on the far end of the bench is moving towards the runway. 1 ball, 1 strike. Listen to this ball hit that mid if he throws that good fastball and gets it by Lazinski.
Oh.
Sawed it off in his hand. Easy out. So that ends the 3rd inning. National League 5, American League nothing. Saturday, 1977 All-Star Game. A packed house here. A handheld camera all over this ballpark. Bill Kunkel was out talking to Don Sutton. I don't know, every time that Sutton pitches, umpires go out to talk to him. In fact, he put a little Band-Aid on her one day, and they were going to make him peel it off. There was a message on there, "Ooh, you caught me." As we look at Rupert Jones of the Seattle Mariners. 17 home runs. Takes it high, ball 1. Rupert Jones, a pinch hitter.
First man picked in the expansion draft, picked by the Seattle Mariners. He'll strike out a lot, but he's shown more power than they expected.
High fly ball. Parker and Foster. And who made the catch? I don't know. They both got their hands up. The big man did. Dave Parker.
Obviously a communication problem. They haven't played together before. Parker actually has a little more speed.
No doubt about it from that angle. George says, all right, big guy, have it. So there's one out here is Rod Carew. Carew tapped back to the pitcher his first time up. George Foster going way back, way back, way back. Makes the grab up against the wall. That ball was almost out of here in dead center field for a man who's known as a spray hitter, Rod Carew.
Rodney hits this ball some 420, 25 feet. Look at Foster at the warning track. Look for the wall. Is it going to go out? It might have had a chance for a home run by Carew, but he robbed him of it.
Nice play. Here's another angle. Foster's got a beat on it. Now he looks for the wall. And that warning track will tell him he's close.
He's a left fielder by trade, but he played the outfield right then in center like he'd been out there all his life, Joe.
That'd have been close. It sure would have, Tony.
Oh.
Good play by Foster. Here is Randolph. Takes it inside. Ball 1. So, National League flashing some leather. They flashed a lot of lumber. It's 5-0. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. There's the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Nobody on. Great play by George Foster. May have chased a bad ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, says Kunkel. You heard that. They never say strike. I don't know why it hurt him. Randolph was out on strike.
For this year's All-Star Game program. Now, this handsome book contains a history of previous All-Star Games, today's players, and a special feature this year on the great Jackie Robinson. And as you well know, this year's game is dedicated to him. Now, for your copy, send a check or a money order for $2.50, plus 50 cents for postage and handling. Send to All-Star Souvenir Program, Post Office Box 350, New York, New York, 10046.
The preceding message was presented by Major League Baseball. We've got a new pitcher, Dennis Eckersley.
Another one of those guys who throws very hard of the Cleveland Indians. You always look at the strikeout ratio to innings pitched. See Eckersley from every angle you can imagine. And if need be, we may show you one from right directly above from the blimp. But he is struck out in 155 in the 3rd innings, 119. He's got a funny motion, Joe.
I think that bottom panel on your right-hand side is the one that the hitters hate when he comes sidearm. Watch that left leg. He hides that ball. He gets that leg up high, His glove and the ball are below his leg, and then he comes from third base. Looks like from behind the third base coach. That'll make a broadcaster out of a lot of right-hand hitters, I'll tell you.
If you're hitting against a guy like him, it's disconcerting because when he toes the rubber, he gets ready to take his sign, he's actually looking toward third base, or he's facing that way.
I love these conversations. One's a fastball, now two's a curve. No, I don't throw a knuckleball. I don't have a forkball. And three's a slider. I might change up on my fastball. Okay. There's a shot of the stands as a Yankee fans, they're ready. Great. Great. Ron Say was out on strikes his first time up is up there, and watch Eckersley come from around third base. Strike one.
Eckersley's first All-Star game. He's the man who this year pitched a no-hitter against California.
Foul ball past the third base coach Lasorda. 2 strikes to count. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Joe Morgan opened this game with a home run, a single by Parker, a double by Foster, and Parker scored a home run by Luzinski. It was 4-0, and Garvey had a home run in the 3rd, and that's the way we stand.
Don Sutton did a job. 8 scoreless innings in 4 All-Star games.
Whoops, he bailed out. Randolph has an easy out. Ron Say is out. Randolph to Carew.
Here from our left field camera, Say has been in a terrific slump the last couple of weeks. The regular season, the old waddler, the Penguin.
Here is Johnny Bench. This is a good shot. Bench a long way from the plate. No way if he comes sidearm will he hit that ball from the outside part of the plate. Pops it up. George Brett at third base taking charge. 2 outs. Joe Cronin, who has only missed 1 All-Star game, 1942, as either a player or as a spectator. He has seen it there as a playing manager, shortstop with Washington, manager with the Red Sox, president of the American League. He has seen them all except one. Wonderful man. Concepcion, strike 1. I don't blame him.
Oh, by that swing, he didn't like Eckersley at all. With that high leg kick, he goes to the All-Star break as a hot hitter, but the way Eckersley's throwing, it's going to be tough.
One ball and 1 strike. Palmer started. Kern came on. Now Eckersley for the American League. Good strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Concepcion should get on. Reggie Smith will be the pinch hitter. He won't get on. Eckersley, easy out. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. National League 5, American League nothing. As we see a shot of the Bronx from our Goodyear blimp. A hot, muggy night here in New York. We've got some changes. The new pitcher, Laval. There you see Winfield. He has gone in to play left field, replacing Luzinski. Ted Simmons is the catcher. Winfield from San Diego, Simmons from St. Louis. Laval is the new pitcher from the San Francisco Giants.
Laval, his first All-Star game. Very impressive earned run average, as you see. That is second best in the National League to Bruce Sutter, who's just over 1 run allowed per game. Sutter came up with that knot in his right shoulder. After sensational first half for the Cubs, he's kept them in that race. He couldn't make it.
Laval will be facing Brett, Yastrzemski, and Richie Zisk. Winfield bats in the 5th spot. Simmons bats in the 9th spot. Lavelle will bat 7th. George Brett walked his first time up. High, ball 1. There you see the governor, the gentleman in the blue tie. Big sports fan, Governor Hugh Carey of New York. Fly ball, left field, Winfield going back. Makes the play easily. Boy, he's another big guy. I'll tell you something. Before the game, he and that Dave Parker were running in the outfield together. It looked like a tag team match, looking for some arena somewhere. Yastrzemski popped to the second baseman his first time up. Outside, ball 1. Let's pause briefly for our station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KSTP-TV, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Channel 5.
That's the strike.
Lavelle, a pretty good strikeout pitcher in his own right. He's come up with 13 saves for the Giants. He thinks one thing's important in relief, and that's come in and throw a strike if you can on the first pitch. Get ahead of the hitter with something on the ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Richie Zisk, the on-deck batter. Yastrzemski, a high fastball out on strikes. First strikeout for Lavelle. That's the 5th strikeout for the National League pitchers.
Now, Richie Zisk. It's a big thrill for him being voted by the fans. His first year in the American League. We asked him about playing in New York, the All-Star game.
Well, as a child, I used to come to many, many Yankee ball games and got caught up in the tradition and the excitement of Yankee baseball back in the early 60s. And when you got a chance to play in an All-Star game, no matter where it is, it's a big thrill. But coming back to Yankee Stadium, where I watched so many games, magnifies it that much more.
Well, he gets a base hit up the middle, Richie Zisk, and it brings up Reggie Jackson.
Bob Lemon, the first base coach.
Jackson single to center field his first time up. National League 5, American League nothing. We're in the bottom of the 4th. 2 outs. Ball 1.
Boy, since the 2 Cleveland pitchers came in, Eckersley and Kern, and now Lavelle, the hitters have been a little bit overmatched. They're just blowing the ball by some of them.
Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
I'd like to bat left-handed against him with that knee kick, where he comes from 3/4 of the side.
2 balls and 1 strike. The one thing that he does that's very distracting is as he starts his delivery, he looks a little bit towards first base and then starts towards the plate with his arm. You like to see that head looking at you. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs.
Reggie's getting his swings, but he's swinging a little late also.
Outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, so Richie Zisk will be off and running. Pick up about 5 steps. Struck him out. That ends the inning, so at the end of 4 complete innings, it's National League 5, American League nothing. Well, we've got some changes here in this 1977 All-Star game for the American League as we zoom right in. The man in center field, Fred Lynn from the Boston Red Sox. He's loosening up with a teammate who's going into play right field, Jim Rice. So Rice replaces Reggie Jackson, and Lynn replaces Yastrzemski. Ted Simmons, who came on to replace Johnny Bench, will lead it off for the National League.
Dennis Eckersley, 11 strikeouts in the game so far. It'll be Simmons, Morgan, and then Garvey. Well, Jim Palmer got hit hard. One hopper, Willie Randolph. We'll get Simmons, one down. Bring up Joe Morgan, who led off this ball game with a home run.
Tony, next month, some young people from ages 8 to 18 participate in the AAU Junior Olympics at the University of Nebraska, and NBC will be in Lincoln to cover the action. And we might see some of them at the Olympics in Moscow, which will start, and it's not that far away, 3 years from today. It's already 3 years from today.
Creeping up. He blazes a fastball by Morgan, 1 strike. National League scored 4 in the first, 1 in the third. Joe Morgan's hit safely in every one of his 7 All-Star games. Chopped foul. Danny Ozark down there coaching. He's the manager of the Phillies. Three home runs for the National League. Morgan in the first. Lazinski in the first. Garvey in the third. Eckersley pitching to Carlton Fisk with 2 strikes on Morgan. 1-2. Morgan, 2 consecutive years, the National League's most valuable player. Changed up, hit deep to right center field. Lynn to the warning track. Great running catch by Freddie Lynn. To rob Joe Morgan of an extra base hit. Now we've seen Freddie do that time in and time out. Here he goes again.
Fred Lynn, who is so good at knowing exactly where he is, now uses that wall to great advantage. Here's another angle on it, and he's got a beat on that ball early. Great lesson for the young ball player.
This is a great outfield to play center field in because it's so big, and you don't have to worry too much about fences. You can just keep on loping after the ball. We'll bring up Garvey with 2 outs. Good sweeping curveball, 1 strike.
I'll tell you, if he can make this fella bail out, you know that he's putting a little fear in you.
National League 5, the American League nothing. Foul out of play. That's Bill Kunkel whipping the ball back to Eckersley, a former American League pitcher. He played in this ballpark and pitched in it for the Yankees. Eckersley way ahead of Garvey. Or he just busted it by him inside. So Eckersley with another easy inning for the American League will go to the last of the 5th. It's National 5, the American League, nothing. Clark, first time since he was traded, he's warming up. Strange in a Cincinnati uniform, but he's warming up for the National League. Willie Montanez of the Atlanta Braves has gone in to play first base, replacing Steve Garvey, hitting in the number 2 spot. Lavelle's first pitch to Fisk.
Boy, and I don't know who hasn't seen him, Tony, but that Montanez is a treat with that glove. He really flips that ball around. I love to watch him play.
He puts on a show. Fouled off out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. 12 strikeouts in the ball game. Each pitching staff has 6. That little stat there will tell you something about Fisk. He's got a little bit better speed than they give him credit for. And I don't want to say as a catcher, Joe. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But Fisk, second in the league in runs scored. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the last of the 5th. The National League leads 5-0. Too high, 2-2.
Simmons is one of those catchers who likes to just sit on that outside corner, likes to give that pitcher all kinds of room as far as the target. He'll just barrel in on that outside corner.
He threw him a slider and Fisk pops it up. Concepcion, the first out. Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out on Rick Burleson. Ground ball over the head of Laval, but Davey Concepcion with that great range takes a hit away. He just glides over.
He covers a lot of ground. He really does, boy. What you need on an infield is an eraser. You make a bad pitch, you need somebody to erase it. Look at him just glide over there and just routine ground ball. Easy play.
Well, Venezuela seems to produce a lot of oil. There's Montañez giving it a little act. Venezuela with a lot of oil, but also some shortstops. Carrascal, Aparicio, and Concepcion. Larry Heisel leading the American League in RBIs with 82. Munson is second with just 68. He's going to be the pinch hitter for Eckersley, the pitcher. He has been overlooked, underrated. Some accused him early in his career of being too outspoken. He's a very quiet, intelligent young man who can hit and play this game. 1 ball, no strikes on Larry Heisel. Gary Laval, the pitcher. 2-0.
You would think, Tony, as far as he is from that plate, that he would never be able to reach the ball in the outside corner.
He is strong. He hits best when he hits left center, right center field. Didn't look like he reached that one. A tailing fastball from Laval, tailing away.
From the center field angle, you can see how far he is away from the plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. For the last of the 5th, the American League trails 5-0. Gary Laval of the Giants. He really jammed him. Hit him on the fist. Dave Parker gliding in. He's got it. 3 up, 3 down after 5 here in Yankee Stadium. The score, 5-0, the National over the American League. All right, we're back in Yankee Stadium, the site of the All-Star game of 1977. Bert Campaneris, the new shortstop. The Texas Rangers, there's the new catcher for the Minnesota Twins, the youngster Butch Weiniger, the switch hitter. And a new pitcher, Dave LaRoche of the California Angels. He started the year with the Cleveland Indians. He was on the American League All-Star squad last year, but he didn't pitch. Drill, Campaneris to his left. Over the first base, he gets Dave Parker. Hit hard, but a good play by Campy. To bring up George Foster, hitting in the cleanup spot for the National League All-Star team. And one of the defensive highlights of this ball game so far came in the 3rd inning when he went way back to the center field wall and robbed Rod Carew of a possible home run. George Foster. Foster has singled and struck out. What a fantastic RBI season he's having so far. 1 ball to George Foster. Last year, about the middle of August, George Foster tailed off quite a bit, but he said, it's not going to happen to me this year. I'm putting the first half of the season behind me. It's a whole new year. Road throws it right by him.
That got Conkle. That's one of those real cavity rattlers. Right off Conkle's chest protector and mask. He's taking a little bit of time back there. There you see him.
It's kind of like the pitch that Eddie Sudol got hit by with, and they thought he had a fractured collarbone, but I guess he's all right. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. LaRoche to Foster, inside, 2-1. Pitching has taken over since that 1st inning. The National League hit the American League with a 4 spot. Came up with another run in the 3rd. Morgan a home run, Basinski a home run, and Garvey a home run. Two and one out. Popped high in foul territory. Carew over toward the stands, but it'll drift out of play. 2-2.
Say, the scorecard looks very neat, Tony. 5 hits for the National League, 2 for the American League, but 4 of those National League hits came in the 1st inning, so outside of that first inning bombing that Palmer took, it's been quite a ball game. Those Cleveland kids came in, and they just sprayed that bat rack with termites.
Wow. 2-ball, 2-strike count on George Foster. Hopper foul. Tommy Lasorda. He's got his Dodger ball club way ahead of Cincinnati. The Western Division National League. Mr. Positive. 9.5 game lead. Wonder if he thinks that's comfortable. Hit off the fist. Brett into foul territory. Signals there to Carew. 2 out.
Long throw. Good play by Brett. He really balanced himself and gunned it. Watch him set himself. He didn't hurry it at all. He gets ready and he just guns it.
Rod Carew, a product of a very famous high school, Washington High. Dr. Henry Kissinger came from there. Our producer, Roy Hammerman. Got to get Roy's plug in, don't we? Dave Winfield. One of the strong young giants, was drafted in 3 professional sports. Basketball, football, and obviously baseball. He replaced Lazinski, who had hit a home run and grounded out. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs. Dave LaRoche on the mound for the American League. Two 2-0. It's the pitch Winfield wants right here. He's looking for something. He can go downtown. He fouls it out of play to kind of go to 2-1. The man behind the plate from the Minnesota Twins, the switch hitter Butch Weiniger, became the youngest player ever to play in an All-Star game last year. This year, Templeton of the National League squad, the youngest man on either glove. Boy, did he have a cut. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gary Templeton of the National League squad is 10 days younger than Weiniger. You may see him later. Sparky wants him to get in the ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. National League 5, the American League nothing. We're in the top of the 6th. Foul out of play.
That's one of the better kept secrets, that he's second in the National League in runs and hits, 114. One of the reasons being, he himself says, at San Diego, he never makes the box scores in the Eastern papers. So I'm really one of those guys could go on What's My Line and stump the panel.
He can run, he can throw, he obviously can hit with power. And he signed a contract a short while ago, and he looks like he's going to be a happy ball player. 3-2. The Dave Winfield. Winfield's first All-Star game. LaRoche 3-2 pitch. Foul out of play again. On deck hitter, the Dodgers' Ron say, that's Mike Schmidt in the background, who came to the All-Star game. He's had a broken finger. He doesn't swing the bat well, but he said, I can play defense, I can pinch run for you. LaRoche's 3-2 pitch again to Winfield. Hit to right field. Sounded like his bat broke, but he drives Rice back to the wall. He dropped the ball as he bumped the wall. Winfield, husky, goes into second base. That bat sounded like it shattered and turned to the wall, Joe.
That's when you're strong. Looked like Rice had it all away, plenty of time. Should have caught that ball.
Hit the heel of the glove, and it was jarred loose as he backed into the wall.
They give him a base hit, but I tell you, Christmas comes early. That ball should have been caught.
No way.
No way what? Caught or hit?
It's got to be there. I agree with you.
Oh, yeah. They give him a hit. He should have caught that ball.
Well, the official scores in this ball game, the Cincinnati Post and president of the Baseball Writers Association, Earl Lawson, Red Foley of the New York Daily News, and Ken Nigro of the Baltimore Morning Sun. To bring up Say with Winfield in scoring position. 2 outs. National League leads 5-0. We're in the 6th. Good fastball. Lavelle, the pitcher, the scheduled hitter, following save, but we've got Charlie Hustle on deck. Pete Rose. Inside and low, a ball and a strike. Pete Rose. He's the guy that said the reserves are going to win this thing.
Yeah, but look at the reserves. Would you call him a reserve?
Winfield on second base, 1-1 count. 2-1. Dave Winfield of the Padres. Got what might have been a gift double to right field. Say has struck out and grounded out in this ball game. Two and one pitch. Goes 3-1 on Say. Here's the one Say wants. Pitch he can jerk. Look in the zone. Roach probably going to go fastball to Weiniger, the catcher. He walked him. We'll bring up the pinch hitter, Pete Rose. And Pete Rose, having a lot of fun to work out yesterday, brought his son, Pete Jr., as we listen to the crowd reaction. Now let's hear Pete Rose interview little Pete Jr.
Yankee Stadium. What did you think of those monuments out in center field?
I like seeing all them great Yankee players.
And Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, pictures of all of them, they were great players, weren't they?
Yeah.
How do you like the stadium?
I like it.
Is this where we won the World Series?
Yeah.
Pete Rose and Pete Jr., he's the pinch hitter, batting right-handed against LaRoche. The National League squad with 4 switch hitters. Gives Sparky a little maneuverability. Winfield on second, Say on first with 2 down. He goes after the first pitch. It's a high to right field. Jimmy Rice. Whoa, he had a little trouble, but he gets it. So LaRoche pitches out of Tom Seaver has come on. He stirred up the crowd before the ball game during the player introduction with standing ovations. He stirred them up again as he came in from the bullpen. He's on for the National League. Tom Seaver. His first appearance back in New York since he was traded from the Mets. Went over to Cincinnati. Some other changes now. In center field for the National League, Jerry Morales. In right field for the Montreal Expos is Alice Valentine. Pete Rose stays in the ballgame at third base. And the youngster from the St. Louis Cardinals, Gary Templeton, is now playing shortstop. So Seaver, with a 5-0 lead, will pitch to Carew, Randolph, and George Glick. There's the introduction for Seaver. And there's Rod Carew and that trophy presented by the Commissioner's Office in Gillette for the man who received more votes than anybody else in this All-Star game, over 4 million. Carew, 0 for 2, grounded out, sent George Foster deep. He may have been robbed of a home run. Drilled up the middle, base hit by Carew. First pitch off Seaver. Jerry Morales in center field. We'll bring up Willie Randolph. He struck out 2 times. Seaver's 7th appearance. He's on the squad 3 other times, but he didn't pitch. Drill right back at Seaver. Smacks it down. He'll get Randolph at first base, and that was just self-defense. Ball hitting right back at Tom Seaver's face. He knocks it to the ground. Carew goes to second. Wow. Sparky's coming out. Jimmy Ewell, the trainer's coming out.
Here's a shot of it. Watch the follow-through by Seaver. It's a good study for the young pitcher, how he's balanced and ready for that ball. And good thing he was. He knocks it down and still able to make the play. He was just perfectly balanced.
2 pitches, 2 smashes up the middle. Tom isn't shook up now, but you got to believe he was shook up when he saw it coming back at him. So with Carew on second, 1 out, National League leading 5-0. George Brett, who led the American League in hitting last year. His average has been down this year, but he's been hurt. 1 strike.
Tony, Carew at second base, that's really strange country. That's the first American leaguer to get to second base in this ball game.
He got just 3 hits off the end of the bat. Rose, Montañez, 2 outs. You got to enjoy watching him play. Montañez. There's Carew and Joe Morgan. Second base umpire Davey Phillips of the American League. Brings up Freddie Lynn. Went in for Kyle Yastrzemski. Lynn's made a fine running catch in right center field in this ball game. 2 outs. Carew at second. 1 ball. Take a look at Seaver from that center field camera holding Carew. 2 balls, no strikes on Fred Lynn. Richie Zisk on deck for the American League. Fouled out of play. For the National League, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. There's Zisk. Born in Brooklyn. He has helped make that White Sox hitting attack. 2-1 to Lynn. Seaver throws it right by him, 2-2. Hit high in the air, the third base line. Rose in foul territory. Templeton over. Look out, Pete. He hit that tarpaulin, tripped over it, and the ball came down. He might have had a play. He was on his way down. Look at Templeton over to help. Rose got a beat on it. That ball hit him on the head, didn't it?
That ball hit him.
Right on the top of the head. Here it is again. There he hits the tarpaulin.
No, missed him. Just barely missed him, luckily.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Freddie Lynn facing Tom Seaver with Carew on second. Good curveball. He fouls it off. There's Rod Carew. Magazine articles, picture cover stories. The biggest vote getter in this year's All-Star game for a man who a lot of people said is somewhat of an unknown in Minnesota, except for Minnesota. He's got a lot of publicity. Seaver thought he had it. The count goes to 3-2.
I love Carew's theory on chewing, too, Tony. He said it makes the skin tight so it don't squinch his eye. Helps him hit.
Seaver loses Freddie Lynn, so the American League has runners on first and second with 2 outs, and Richie Zisk the hitter.
I just wonder if Seaver might not be just a little bit nervous with the kind of reaction that he's gotten here. He had to respond to 3 different ovations as we get a good shot from the blimp.
Richie Zisk. Base hit right center field. So the American League will score first run of the ball game as Carew scores. Lynn may try. He's been waved home by Travis. Zisk into second base. Lynn scores. It's now 5-2. The American League bench. The first thing they've had to cheer about so far today. Richie Zisk, who's made a good living in the National League driving in runs. He's done it this year so far in the American League, and he keeps on doing it in the All-Star game. Bring up Jimmy Rice with 2 down. He hits him on the fist, popped up in foul territory. Simmons over, he lost the ball for a second, but he waves Montañez off. And he gets it for the 3rd out. But the American League comes up with 2. We'll go to the 7th.
Changes in that American League defense. There is Kenny Singleton. He's going into play right field. Jimmy Rice, who was the right fielder, has moved to left field. George Scott is at first base, the boomer. And Greg Nettles is gone in to play third base. And we've got a new pitcher, Bill Campbell. So it's a 5-2 ball game, and Bill Campbell, who's having quite a year for the Red Sox, and his statistics speak for themselves as you look at him, 9-5, 2.53, but I think Red Sox coach Al Downing said it all, says he comes out to pitch like it's Christmas morning. He's full of enthusiasm. Al Jackson, who'd I say? Oh, Downing? I got Gentleman Al on my mind. Al Jackson. Aerial pictures of Yankee Stadium and the surrounding areas of New York City. They're coming to you from NBC's camera aboard the Goodyear blimp Mayflower. And there you see her. And there's the shot from it. A hot day here in New York. It hit 102, which is a record. 93 at about game time, but the fans enjoying this ball game. 5-2, we're in the 7th inning. Valentine will lead it off. This is his first time at bat from the Montreal Expos.
Bill Campbell won 17 ball games for the Twins last year. He played out his option. He has 17 saves for the Red Sox this year. Tops in the American League.
Alice Valentine.
One of the fine young outfielders that Montreal team has. Along with Andre Dawson, Warren Cromartie. It's the outfield of the future. Really the outfield of the present. They're playing well now.
2 balls and no strikes. And when you talk about somebody coming sidearm, Mr. Campbell wheels and deals from the side. Misses. 3 balls and no strikes.
He has a great assortment of pitchers, Bill Campbell. He'll throw over the top, 3/4, sidearms, screwballs, curveballs, different speeds, sinker balls. He can confuse you.
Well, he walks Valentine, so Valentine draws the base on balls. And is he putting the glove on or taking it off? Taking it off. Putting on his running glove. They got running gloves, they got hitting gloves, and here is Ted Simmons. Simmons, the Cardinal RBI leader in each of the last 5 seasons. Outside, ball 1.
Interesting to see now that that lead has been narrowed with the National League. If they turn Valentine loose, there's our camera shot of what a base runner sees. And Campbell, the pitcher, has an excellent move to first base. Valentine has stolen 9 bases this year. Good shot.
Inside, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls and a strike on Ted Simmons.
When Campbell comes at you, you see all elbows and knees, and you just can't pick up the ball. A little bit like Louis Tiant in that regard. You don't know where to look.
Two balls and a strike. There goes Valentine. Nice play by Randolph. Willie Randolph. Nice play. Gets Simmons at first, but Valentine going with the pitch ends at second. We've seen some good defensive plays here. Randolph just pulled one off.
That's a first and third situation for the National League if Willie doesn't come up with that ball.
So there's one man out, and Joe Morgan is the batter. Morgan opened this game with a home run, lined to second, and was robbed. Tremendous catch in center field by Fred Lynn. So he's 1 for 3. It's a strike. Fastball on the outside corner. Top of the 7th inning, National League 5, American League 2. He was going for one. 2 strikes to count on Joe Morgan. Morgan, who can really control that strike zone. Came over the top high. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bill Campbell. Struck him out. He turned it over. A screwball. Took a little bit off. Morgan was out in front. A strikeout for Bill Campbell. There are 2 away. And it brings up Willie Montanez. His first time at bat in this All-Star game.
Another fine shot from the blimp, showing you a full house in Yankee Stadium.
2 outs, 5-2, National League leading. Valentine at second base. Kid Montanez about being a hot dog. He said, oh no, not number 1. Fuentes is number 1. Fuentes says that Montanez is number 1. They can both play. Good swing. Watch him with that bat. He dropped it that time. He handles it like a baton. Having a good year at Atlanta. .313 average, 13 home runs, 41 runs batted in. One pitch. Fouled out of play.
Montanez is one of those guys going to get his swings. He didn't walk a whole lot. 272 at bats so far this year. Walked just 19 times. Didn't strike out a whole lot either. See how consistent he's been.
Had a big year. He always has a big year. Out on strikes. Bill Campbell, strikeout. That ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. National League 5, American League 2. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-2. National League out in front. Manny Trio has gone into play second base for the National League as Sparky Anderson continues to get the players in the lineup. They were voted in, and he's going to get them in. Butch Weiniger will lead it off for the American League. First time at bat for young Butch. This is a good-looking ball player. Takes it outside, ball 1. One ball and 1 strike to count. Gene Mock, Minnesota manager, very high on this young fella, and rightly so. Bouncing ball. Sneaks through for a base hit. Weiniger is on. So the American League gets something going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A leadoff single by Weiniger. It's a 5-2 ball game. National League out in front. Weiniger checking signs with Bob Lemon. Bert Campaneris is the batter.
Only one thing Bob Lemon could be telling Weiniger, hey, we're down, don't get picked off. Watch the line drive, make it go through.
Montanez is playing behind Weiniger. Strike 1. Campaneris tried to hit that ball to right field. That's the view Weiniger has. This crowd tries to stir it up. A partisan American League crowd, and they trail by 3. Strike 2.
Couple signals getting straight as we look at Nettles on deck. The American League, the Templeton and Trio had a little conference behind second base as to who might cover the bag or take the throw from the pitch receiver in any event.
Outside, just barely missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Campaneris 6 times had 50 or more stolen bases. Struck him out. Foul tip held on to by Simmons, a strikeout, and it brings up Greg Nettles. He'll get a tremendous hand. Home runs, 58 runs batted in. He led the American League in home runs last year, 32. Low, ball 1. Lasorda trying to get Winfield in left field to move way over and play him deep. Nettles strictly a pull hitter. There's Lasorda. Foul out of play. Ball and a strike.
Seaver looks like he pitched in this park a lot more than he did Shea Stadium because he knows how to keep the ball away. Make him hit to the big part, especially the left-handed hitters. They don't like to change up on you. Unless you've got a real, there's the start again.
Good cut at a fastball, didn't get it. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There have been 11 hits in this game, 6 by the, if we look at Billy Martin, 6 by the National, 5 by the American. 15 strikeouts. 8 by American League pitchers, 7 by National League pitchers. Kunkel took another one off the mask. He's checking him, boy. He got a good one that time. When that umpire takes the mask off, he's talking to himself.
I don't know how you feel, Bill, but Joe Garagiola knows how you feel. You've had a couple of those, Joes. Look at it again.
I tell you, you want to find out.
It spun it around.
What it feels like is putting your head in the bell and somebody hitting it with a hammer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That could be. Oh, he booted it. Everybody's safe. Should have been a double play.
That ball off the end of the bat of Greg Nettles had a lot of English. Templeton has made quite a few errors in his first year in the National League, first full year. This one had that little bit of English, little bit of spin, rolls right up his arm. Could have been 2, but now the American League's got something going. Here it is, another angle. He might have been thinking about taking it himself. Might have taken his eye off the ball. May have just taken a bad hop. The ball just beat him.
So instead of an inning-ending double play, the tying run is at the plate. And Tony, as you said in the pregame, if you're looking for a guy to hit you a home run, you would take George Scott. Here he is in that very spot right here. He swings, and did he ever have a home run cut at that one? Oh, baby, he unloosed one.
Leading the American League with those 25 home runs. Jimmy Rice is in the ballgame. He's next.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. If nothing else, George Scott is loose. That first one, man, he really popped a few buttons.
He's going to give you a thrill with that bat in his hand.
Popped up, short center field. Morales has to come hard. He's there. Makes the play.
Oh, saw a little bit of white on that one.
I tell you, he catches that ball like that most of the time below the belt, and he gives you a thrill.
He's playing deep in this Yankee Stadium outfield. Watch this. The old Roberto Clemente catch. Look at the white down to the edge of the webbing like an ice cream cone.
So there are 2 away, and here's Willie Randolph. Randolph struck out in the first, struck out in the third, and smashed one back to Seaver, who was able to knock it down and throw him out at first in the 6th. Curveball misses, ball 1. Center field, Morales is coming in. He can't get it. A run will score. It's 5-3.
Well, the bullpen's going for both clubs. We're going to have a pinch hitter, Joe.
Ron Fairley has come out of the American League dugout. He'll be the pinch hitter for the pitcher, Campbell, who was batting in the third spot. And the tying runs are on. Nettles is on at second base. Randolph is on at first, and Ron Fairley, the batter. 2 men out, 5-3, National League leading.
He's been on some National League All-Star teams. His first year like this for the American League, he's picked by Martin.
Foul ball. This game started out as if the National League was going to just demolish the American League. 4 quick runs, 2 home runs in that first inning, then a home run by Morgan, a home run by Luzinski, and a home run by Garvey. It was 5, but that's been it. American League pecking back.
Ron Fairley, the oldest member, present at this All-Star game at 39, but he still knows how to hit.
Montanez near the stands, but he won't get it. 2 strikes.
Excuse me, Joe. Fairley knows Seaver. He's batted against him an awful lot of times in his National League career. But I got to believe when it's a Tom Seaver out there that he's got the advantage.
Well, he's got 2 strikes on him, Tony, and that's a big advantage.
Fairley's first All-Star at bat. He was on the National League team in '73, but only played first base.
Outside. Simmons wanted to know. They asked the third base umpire, Dick Stello. He says no. There you see Stello. He made the official call on that pitch. Missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch to Seaver. He has to make it happen right here. He got 2 quick strikes, and he nibbled on the corner, and now he's set up either way to go outside or jam him. This is his pitch of decision right here. He's got to make it happen. Foul ball. He really drilled it. That was a home run all the way. Barely got out in front. Right now you're seeing that classic confrontation. The good hitter, he's not going to scare up there against the good pitcher.
Seaver went with a breaking ball, and he hung it up and a little bit inside. Fairley pulled the trigger a little bit too soon. I got to believe Tommy's going to go back outside with him now, make him into the big part of the ballpark.
2-2 pitch. 3-2. And now with 2 outs, everybody's running, and Willie Randolph can score the tying run on a long single. He's at first base. Greg Nettles, he'll be off and running at second base. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 5-3, National League leading. Struck him out. Tom Seaver gets the strikeout. That ends the 7th inning, so the score at the end of 7 complete innings. National League. Young Mike Shanley. As we see Sparky Lyle, the new pitcher, talking it over with Butch Weiniger. Sparky with that chew, he looks like he's deformed.
Lyle pitched in the 1973 All-Star game. He was on squad in '76, did not get in. He's been the ace out of the Yankee bullpen for a number of years. His big pitch, that hard slider. Breaks right at the last.
Sparky Lyle, he'll be facing Templeton, Morales, and Winfield.
Lyle was 15 saves up to this point in the season in the American League. A little excitement last inning, didn't we?
Oh, this game is picked up because as you look ahead, in that bottom of the 8th, the American League, they have Lynn, Singleton, and Rice. You know, it just goes. I remember Larry Jansen, when he pitched to Campanella, Campy said the best pitcher he ever saw on one given day was Jansen in the All-Star game. He said because you weren't facing any 6th, 7th, and 8th place hitters. You were facing all 3, 4, and 5 hitters. And that's what's happening now. Gary Templeton, boy, you're looking at a kid who has got superstar stamped all over him.
Sparky got a little criticism from some areas of the country for picking Templeton to the squad over Larry Bowa, who's, well, he's just been a sensational shortstop, Bowa. And I'm sure Sparky would like to have picked all 3 of them, Concepcion, Templeton, and Bowa, but he went with the kid, Templeton.
Strike one on Gary Templeton. Well, Sparky handled it well. He said, I don't blame Bo. I like those kind of guys. When they're not picked, they complain. All-star means a lot. Money goes to the pension plan. It helps and all the ball players. Time is called. One of the players is running in from the bullpen.
Rick Russell, the Cubs pitcher.
He and Suter have been that franchise.
Templeton, the youngest player in either squad.
Base hit. No way they're going to get him. And he makes the big turn.
Here he goes.
He's going to try it. They got his shot. They won't get him. I tell you, he can do it all. He didn't hesitate. Danny Ozark had the green light going, but there was no way he could help him. He made up his mind. Watch it.
Well, how'd you like to be 21, a switch hitter, hitting well over 300, be able to do what he just did? He made that double not from first to second, but right from out of the batter's box, home plate. We started taking those long strides. He was moving. Rice was playing deep in the left center field. He didn't lope on the ball. He came charging it.
He simply outran it. Here is Morales.
Look out.
That hit him. Look out. Look out. That hit him hard. Morales is on, hit by a pitch ball.
That's that hard slider that Sparky Lyle throws. He may have tried to overthrow it. Jimmy Ewell, the Houston Astros trainer. And right now we're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KSTP TV, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Channel 5.
They're looking at Morales at first base, even though he has not rubbed it. That ball hit off his leg so hard. As we look at Winfield, trainer is still working on Morales at first base. That ball hit off his leg so hard it bounced into the dugout.
Well, Herman Franks, the manager of the Cubs, who's got them in first place in the Eastern Division, is sitting somewhere worrying about that. He's already got Suter with that sore shoulder, missing the All-Star game, and he got cracked pretty good, looked like on the knee. That man right there, Danny Ozark's got the Phillies creeping up on Herman Franks.
Oh, it's going to be a good second half, I'll tell you. Interesting to see the guys that are leading can make a little story. Joe Jr. and I were talking about it today. Herman Franks said, oh, he'll never identify with the players. Lasorda's a big cheerleader. Bob Lemon at the White Sox. There's the strike. Reggie Smith, there you see him, he is the on-deck batter. Slider gets by the catcher, Weininger, and Templeton, a big turn. You better be careful. Both runners advance.
Well, you can see what that speed will do. Templeton with a big lead off second base. It's charged a wild pitch to Sparky. He had that big lead, was jockeying back and forth. Lyle may have been worried about him too much. Overthrew a pitch. Now they're in second and third.
Now the infield's got to come in. They can't give up any more runs. You lose your double play situation. Be tough to double this big guy up, and it's also tough to play in. You can drive that ball through you. Did he go around? Nope. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Here's how part of this inning got started with Templeton down at second base after he hustled out a double. Lyle slide right on the knee of Jerry Morales. Made it first and second. Wild pitch made it second and third.
Base hit to the pulled-in infield. 1-run scores. Here comes Morales. Throw goes into second. 2-run score. It's 7-3. Morales didn't run like his leg was bothering him at all. So Reggie Smith will come on. Winfield is on at first base. National League is added to their lead at 7-3.
Now, you said it before it happened. When that infield comes in, the big, strong guy like Winfield, you're in trouble because he just hit the ball in the fist and muscled it through. Now the pinch hitter.
Reggie Smith of the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's a strike. Chubb Phenia, National League president, and the man on the far side, Warren Giles. For many years, the president. Base hit, left field, Reggie Smith. Winfield, big turnaround second, but holds on. Sparky Lyle being treated just a bit rough here.
Smith really limping on that bad leg. Sparky's yelling out from the dugout, asking if Smith needs some help as a pinch runner. Then he went on and Smith waved his head no, he said. Sparky said, but take it easy.
Pete Rose. Rose flied out his first time up. That was in the 6th inning. Out of play, strike one. Nobody out. Base runners at first and second. 2 runs are in. Sparky Anderson, he wants a pinch runner. He's going to run somebody. Mike Schmidt.
He wants him out of there. Smith on that bad leg. You see him limp off badly. He's been playing with that pretty much of the season.
National League bench, Sparky Anderson makes a move here. Mike Schmidt has gone in to run. Schmidt, who has a bad hand, came to the All-Star game with this in mind, that he could be used as a pinch runner. Bouncing ball, Randolph steps on second. The first is in time. Beautiful play by George Scott. George Scott with that glove that it seems like he's had for 100 years, Tony. A backhanded play, a good play, double play.
That black beauty goes on and on, doesn't it? Off-balance throw by Willie Randolph. The hard sliding Schmidt. You got an idea of Schmidt's speed. Look at the scoop by George Scott.
So there are 2 away. Winfield moves on over to third. Valentine is the batter. Valentine walked his first time up. Well hit. Center field. Lynn is going back. He's got room. Makes the play. That ends the inning. National League picks up 2 runs. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. National League new pitcher, and he'll be facing Fred Lynn. Outside, ball 1.
If you saw our game of the week last Saturday from Philadelphia, you saw Russell with a 6-0 lead.
Off the handle. Should be an easy play for Trio. 1 out.
And Russell got hurt badly by the Phillies, but they never got a ball in the infield. At artificial surface, they were bounding over everybody's head, and this is what he likes to pitch on grass.
He is 12-3, Russell. Carlton leads the National League with 13-4. Rick Russell. And run average 2.43. Kenny Singleton. There's the strike. National League 7, the American League 3. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Bounces off Simmons. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Quite a story about Kenny Singleton, another man in the American League squad, Rod Carew. They used to play baseball in a lot, sandlot, adjacent to the stadium, right across the street, and they used to hold up the games and listen to Joe Garagiola give the Yankees scores.
You're making that up.
No, he told me that. They'd say, hey, in the 5th, get the portable radio out. What Garagiola says, leading. Ow.
That hit him. That hit him, but good. Singleton is on.
So Russell gets Singleton with what looked like a breaking ball, a slider. That American League squad getting taped up and massaged en masse. The trainer's room before the game, Gene Monahan he's the Yankee trainer, had a lot of work. He's got some more now. Cage going to play behind Singleton with a big lead.
Jimmy Rice. Count of strike 1. Strike 2. 1 man out.
Rice, the guy who's so strong he can swing and look bad on certain pitches, then hit the next one out of sight in the same spot. Trying to pitch him away that time.
1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a sign of a good pitcher. If he's going to miss, he misses away from the batter. Simmons will sit on that outside corner. He'll take another shot at it more than likely. Missed it away from the batter. Now he's 2-2 and he's set up for the pitch. You get a fellow out there with good control. It gives you the luxury of fooling around a little bit, setting up a pitch. Made it happen, but Rice was there. Off the end of the bat, a base hit. Singleton stops at second.
That was a pitch similar to the one Rice missed earlier, a sweeping curveball outside. This time he stuck with it off the end of the bat, but he's so darn strong.
So Singleton is on at second. Jim Rice is on at first. There's one man out, and Butch Weiniger is the batter. Weiniger singled to right and scored in the 7th inning. National League 7, American League 3. It's a strike.
Billy Martin doesn't have a whole lot of players left. There's Thurman Munson, who's been hurt, Jason Thompson of the Tigers, Wayne Gross of Oakland, and Jim Slayton, the only pitcher he's got left, the Milwaukee Brewers.
1 ball and 1 strike. Smash. Montanez has it. Templeton 1 out. Back to first. Double play. 3-6-3. And Montanez really flipped that ball around. Inning is over at the end of 8 complete innings. National League 7, American League 3.
Here's that inning-ending double play. Weiniger hits a smash. Look how smooth Willie Montanez is. And then watch Templeton. With Rice bearing down, he just goes right after him and gets him down. And Willie's got time to get back. He puts it on a little bit, but he can play.
Willie did a little dance step for the fans. It's high. Ball 1 to Simmons. Hot smash. Nettles at third has it. 1 out. And that brings up Manny Trio of the Chicago Cubs. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, Campaneris, Nettles, and George Scott will be the 3 hitters for the American League. Trio takes the strike.
Trio, who got out to that fast start, helping give the Chicago Cubs that early break away from the Eastern Division, has been slumping, but he's still above 300. He started out as a catcher, as a 16-year-old catcher in the Phillies organization. Show you how much he's improved. Herman Franks had sat him down a little bit the last couple of weeks to rest him, get him back on the beam.
Lasorda's chasing everything. Oh, Tom.
This is new for him this year. He was a Dodger third base coach under Alston for a number of years, but he's sitting in the dugout.
Inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. We're in the top of the 9th. 16 strikeouts in this game. And there is another one. 17 strikeouts.
Most strikeouts in the 9-inning All-Star game, 20 in the 1968 game. But the game you might remember as we look at downtown New York City from the blimp. But the game you might remember was the 1967 All-Star game where there were 30 strikeouts in a 15-inning ball game.
Willie Montanez. Watch him handle that bat. 1 strike. Yeah. Bouncing ball to Randolph. Should do it. 3 up and 3.
He has saved probably his hardest thrower on his staff for the last, Rich Gossage of the Pirates, and he's put a new catcher. John Stearns, listen to the hand for Stearns of the Mets. New batters, Gossage and Stearns.
Well, the fans voted the players in by record numbers, and third base, the American League has to get something going. We're in the bottom of the 9th, and Gossage delivers. Strike 1.
Pete Rose, who's played 4 different positions in the All-Star game. Third base, second base, left field, and right field.
1 ball and 1 strike. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
There's Rose. 4 different positions in an all-star game. There are several others who've done that. You know, the Goose, Rich Gossage, is no surprise to American League hitters. They know he's coming with fastballs.
He misses 3 balls and a strike. Campaneris takes a look at Alex Grammas. Got to believe he'll be taking this pitch. He's got to get base runners. Taken all the way, it's a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
We mentioned some of the players, or all the players that Billy Martin had left. Well, the National League has not yet used Griffey, Andujar from Houston, Steve Carlton, Phillies, or Candelaria from Pittsburgh. They're all experiencing some minor injuries. And Sparky doesn't want to take a chance with them.
Three-two pitch. Ball 4. Campaneris draws the walk.
Oh, it's not a steal situation right now for Campaneris. That's Bob Lemon, the White Sox manager. Campy has had 6 50-plus stolen base years in the American League, and Charlie Finley said he's the man that made our Oakland A's go all those years. He's gone too.
Greg Nettles. Nettles was safe on the error by Templeton back in that 7th inning. American League scored a run out all that. High and tight. 1 ball, no strikes. 7-3, National League leading. Bottom of the 9th.
Gossage with 16 saves in the National League.
Coming back, Stearns. I doubt, nope, no play.
85 strikeouts for the Goose. It's he who some fans sent a pet goose to, and they traveled on the plane with the team for a while.
1-1 pitch. Low, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Campaneris at first. Got under it. Everybody chasing it. Near the stand, it'll be out of play. Look at
There, you know the Yankees lost.
Fouls it back. Trail by 4. Struck him out. Gossage gets the strikeout.
That was a pretty good heater right there. We've seen some hard throwers come into this ball game. Eckersley and Kern from Cleveland. Now Gossage. Lavelle was throwing the ball good. It was really popping.
Here is George Scott. 17 strikeouts in the game. 9 by the American Leaguers, 8 by the National League pitchers. Big breaking
run in Fenway. They hit it 420 feet.
1 ball, 1 strike.
36-ounce bat used by Scott.
2 balls and 1 strike. Whoops, laid off. 3 balls and a strike against Scott. Deep to right center field, way back there. This ball could be out of here. It is.
Well, he's making it interesting. I believe the Boomer got all of that one to the American League bench. Ellie Howard, Dick Hauser, two of the Yankee coaches. I don't think he can swing the bat. He's been hurt. There he is on deck. But there's a lefty, Jason Thompson, the Tigers there. He can reach that right field fence.
All the ways, 1 for 4. Takes the strike.
Really playing to go all the way in this ball game.
3-1. 3 balls. Strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bouncing ball, Templeton, a big hop. In time, 2 away. Thurman Munson and LeSoy. Strike 1, he had a good cut at it.
It looked like he was hurt on that.
chased the bad ball. He couldn't have hit that with another.
Times this year in 331 official at-bats.
Fouled out of play.
He put on the short.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The National League.
Went around, says Kunkel, strikeout. The game is over, and the National League, the winner's 7-5 over the American League. The winner is Don Sutton. The loser is Jim Palmer. Last year was National League 7-1 over the American League. This year's 7-5 over the American League. It's the 6th National League win in a row, 14 in the last 15 years, Tony.
Well, Don Sutton was the guy. He shut the American League out for the first 3. He's unscored upon in the All-Star game history. There's the guy, Don Sutton, who pitched 3 strong innings leading off this game. He won the most valuable player presented by the Commissioner of Baseball. It was Palmer who got hit early and hard.
So that's the story, and the final score again here at Yankee Stadium, National League 7, the American League 5. So from beautiful Yankee Stadium, this is Joe Garagiola saying so long for Tony Kubek from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. The 1977 All-Star Game has been brought to you by Dodge and Dodge dealers throughout the country who announce a new kind of luxury in the fiendishly seductive Diplomat, and by the people who bring you the bright, refreshing taste of Coca-Cola. Coke adds life to just about everything you do. And by the Gillette Track 2 shaving system, the closest thing to a perfect shave. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life,